Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back. Today's topic is physique inflation. So if you don't know what physique inflation is, well, go back to the early 2000s. Remember Spider-Man when Peter Parker, like, he took his shirt off and he was like looking at his muscles, and like nowadays that would be seen as like, oh, he looks skinny. But back then it was like he was seen as like, in superhero shape. Like that was something to look up to. So what is going on? Like, and it's not just that. There's also like, you've got these guys who are really advanced natural lifters, and now they're seen as mediocre. They're seen as mid. So that is really delusional. It's because the algorithm is feeding people the most extreme physiques because they tend to be, because they're the most shocking. People want to watch that more. They don't want to watch the quote-unquote mediocre stuff, even though oftentimes what people are calling mediocre is actually pretty far from mediocre. Like, if you look at the average guy's physique, it's usually just over 20% body fat and not a lot of muscular development. Most guys are not that into working out. I mean, it's become more popular with younger guys now, but still, if you look at the average guy, they're usually not that fit. But you've got guys who are like 10-12% body fat, and they have quite an advanced level of muscular development, and they're being called mid. So it's going to affect people's mental health. It can affect a lot of these young men's mental health where they've been training for so long, and then it can make them feel skinny because, they're posting these pictures and videos of themselves, and then people are saying, oh, do you even lift, and all this stuff. It's like, and sometimes they're just like trolls who are just trying to kind of put them down because they are insecure themselves. But there is some people out there that genuinely think that these, really advanced physiques are actually mid, because they're seeing these roided up guys who clearly take stuff to get there, and they also use the best lighting. They're always flexing with a pump. It's like usually they'll have a tan or whatever. It's like they're doing everything they can to maximize their appearance on social media because they know it's going to get the most traction, and that's really dangerous. And if you're doing that on social media, you really need to reconsider doing that, because the more people keep doing that, the more it's going to tell the algorithm to keep putting that stuff in front of people. So and people need to stop watching it as well. Like, people need to, so it's like, people need to stop putting that content out, and people need to stop watching that content and, reacting to it. Just, if you see these crazy physiques, we need to just see it as just like disgusting, because that should not be glorified. We should just be like, move on. It's like, what are you doing? Just, move on to the next thing. We should be glorifying, naturally attainable physiques that are healthy, that they don't have crazy high blood pressure and all these other things, or if they don't have high blood pressure, it's because they're having to go on a bunch of medications that probably have some side effects, and then so that they have a whole, but so it's like they take all these drugs, and then they have to take more drugs to counter the effects of those drugs, and this is being glorified. This is called health and fitness, and it's not at all. It's how is it fit if you're getting gassed going up the stairs? That is just ridiculous to think that is somehow fitness. You're only fit for one thing if you are just lifting weights and nothing else, and you're just taking all this stuff, then it's just making things worse. It's like, when are we ever going to need to lift up hundreds of kilograms off the floor? Like, it's just, there might be a rare case where that may be a thing, but the thing is, where we have this adrenaline where we can actually tap into superhuman levels of strength when necessary. Like, there's even examples of like even women lifting up cars to save somebody's life in those kind of situations. So it goes to show that, you know, we do have this strength in us if it's absolutely necessary, but we don't need to like just keep building all this muscle. It's just because it's what, just for vanity, just because you think it looks good. I mean, it's just not even functional. It's and it arguably doesn't even look good. In fact, 99% of women would actually be turned off by that. So all you're doing is just attracting loads of these roided men. It's like, do you really want that? There's just a bunch of guys all just like kissing each other's butt, who, you know, they're not actually they're just very like irresponsible. And yeah, it's just like when you're around these kind of people, then you become like them. And just be careful who you're hanging around with. You know, if there's these people trying to like encourage you to take more of these things, and like, you know, because some guys, they might start taking some and then they start hanging around with people and they encourage them to take more, you know. It's just it's crazy. I mean, I think I heard somewhere that something like 3% of guys have actually take some kind of performance enhancing drugs. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy, the amount of the drugs that these so-called health and fitness people are, you know, about. So like whenever I see the words fitness, I'm like, I just kind of roll my eyes now, because usually I just think, well, how is it fit when all you do is just lift weights? So even if they are natural and they get this crazy physique naturally, but you know, that's to me is just like not what fitness is really about. So we should be encouraging people to be functional, be fit, have a athletic body, not a swole body, if you will. Like a, you know, that's not exactly great, is it? Because maybe even at a certain point, you know, maybe if you're natural, if you could even get to that size, it would not be healthy. So you probably wouldn't get to that size naturally anyway, but the amount of strain that you would be putting on your body, the amount of inflammation, the amount of oxidative stress, all of that accumulating over many years can really cause a lot of damage to your body and potentially cut your life expectancy short. So these are things that are not really talked about a lot. I mean, yeah, some people do talk about them, but it's not talked about anywhere near enough about the devastating impact of these things. There's literally people dying decades before they should be because of these things. And you could say, well, you know, that they had a good life, so, but like, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see how long a lot of these people end up living to. So you've got people like, you know, these bodybuilders like Mike Israetel and all that, and I don't know, that they're like, it's like, I mean, he's not exactly glorifying it, and I think he tells people not to do it, but the fact that he's continuing to show his physique off like that, and some people are going to want to aspire to that, to his size, and it's obviously got him, you've got all these other ones that are, you know, there's some of them are really blasting, like Sam Sulek, for example, and I mean, it's going to potentially have a bad impact on people where they're like, I don't know, maybe I should do these substances because I'm never going to look like these people without it, because they try train for like so many years or whatever, and then they get disheartened because now they think that their physique is mid, because they see all these extreme things on social media. Apparently though, things are turning the other way in terms of like bodybuilding shows. I was watching this video, I think it was on Bat Guy, and they were talking about how the competitions it's favouring more of like the classic physique, but I would still say that is not healthy. But a lot of this stuff is, you know, on social media is really damaging, because you've got people promoting things like tren and all these different chemicals that are just, you know, these are like, a lot of them are like research chemicals, and just like they're used for different things like that. We don't even know probably the full extent of the damage, possibly. I mean, we know that they can really damage the heart, a lot of these things, and other organs potentially, but it's just crazy how people just like so much need for this like instant gratification, because they see all these people on social media that are blasting these substances that they aspire to look like. But we should be, I think people should, as parents, be warning their kids about this sort of stuff, warning them about content, and trying to actively just try to forbid them from really, you know, seeing that. I mean, of course it's not going to work 100%, but I feel like there needs to be something more done about this sort of stuff, you know, because there's people literally glorifying it. You got people like Togi, for example, who's just and pretty much glorifying the use of roids, but to me they're just train wrecks. I mean, you've got people like Alex Eubank, but you know, he didn't need to do any of that stuff. And he was like, oh well, I've been like, you know, feeling like crap because I'm too lean. Well, maybe just, you know, you don't have to be that lean then. I don't know, just, it's like, I understand that they've got this, you know, social media influencing thing, but they could find a way of doing it and be a bit more interesting, maybe. I don't know. It's like people just want to take shortcuts. It's like there's this channel I was watching about, and it was talking about this exact thing, by the Pioneer, really good channel, and yeah, you know, because he promotes kind of more of a functional way of fitness and doing things in a more fun way, where you can kind of express your own kind of creativity with fitness. You can do different cool stunts and things that you can make you more unique. So that could be what people can do to kind of, you know, build their own brand, instead of just having to be the most big, swole person. That they could be their own self, put out their own personality, and that would be what would, you know, make people come. But people just are too quick to just like, oh well, I need it now, I need the gratification, I need the money, I need, you know, I need to attract women or whatever they're trying to do. But in reality, you know, there's a price to pay for all of this. You know, it's just and going back to the topic, you know, physique inflation, it's just, it's making these things worse. It's making, you know, these young men's mental health worse, because they are constantly going to be comparing themselves to these, you know, extreme physiques, and they're going to be shamed for having a quote-unquote mediocre physique, when clearly it's way above mediocre. So yeah, it's just a really bad situation for a lot of young men now. There's more and more pressure on them than ever, and there's just the whole thing with the looks maxing and stuff like that, and they don't feel like they look good enough because there's a couple of imperfections in their looks. And like, a guy could be like, say, an 8 out of 10, but now you've got guys saying he's a 4 or a 5 or something, really trying to make him feel insecure. Or they just actually believe that because they're so used to seeing supermodel level looks, so then anything below that seems mediocre. Take, for example, Margot Robbie, when people were saying she's mid, because they're so used to seeing, you know, probably because they watch adult content or whatever, but they're seeing all this, you know, like these, you know, like perfect 10s, you could argue. Now it's subjective and all that, but they're what most men would consider as really attractive. But so when they see Margot Robbie, they think, she's mid, but is she really? Like, what do most women look like that down the street? Do you think that she would just be kind of average compared to all of that? I mean, the levels of delusion is unreal. It's yeah, so that's the thing with, you know, you've got so much delusion in the fitness industry, and just not in the industry, but not just in the industry, but just the people consuming fitness content. It's just a lot of delusion, a lot of myths. It's like when people say, oh, you need to bulk up and get fat in the off season to then spend 4 months or 6 months dieting down to get shredded. It's like, it's just ridiculous advice. So I'm here to be like a voice of reason, to say whatever stuff that you see about a mid physique, it's probably far from the truth, because these people are, it's like they're just completely they're detached from reality. I mean, it's like some guy could have like an FFMI of like 23 or something and be at like 10% body fat and be called mid. Like, how is that gonna help men's mental health? It's not. It's just putting unnecessary pressure on them. They're never gonna feel good enough. They could put another 10-20 pounds of muscle on, and then people would still call them mid. It's just crazy. Like, the thing is, a lot of these guys are probably not even into lifting themselves. I don't know, I think a lot of it's probably just a way to put people down. Either that, or some of these guys are, you know, doing certain substances. Either that, or some people just really do have the best genetics and are delusional. There's different reasons why people are gonna just kind of call someone mid, but you shouldn't take it to heart. If anyone ever calls you mid and you know that you're not mid, you know that because you put the work in for years and years, then you've got the results to show for it, then you should know deep down that what these people are saying is complete and utter nonsense. So yeah, it's just one of those things that's really frustrating. Like, yeah, just, I don't know. You know, I might get some comments saying, oh, you're coping or whatever. I don't care. Like, you can say what you want. I'm being real. You know, I mean, I've been training and I've been getting into bodybuilding, and you can see my content. I've been really putting a lot of work into this. But what I'm saying is that I ain't gonna be taking roids just to, like, you know, sort of feel like I'm not mid. I don't care. So I know my worth. I know that I'm, you know, I have these skills. I have, you know, I have the discipline. I can go hard and I can get results. So these people ain't gonna affect me anymore, because I've got to a point where I'm more or less happy with what I've got. I mean, yeah, I could go further, but, you know, I mean, I'm just going to keep training and just try to just increase my functionality and just keep getting generally fitter. But if I only gain like another 2 pounds of muscle or whatever, then so be it. I'm not bothered. Like, we have to learn to get to a point where we're happy with where we're at, because otherwise we're just gonna, well, we're never gonna be happy, and it's gonna make us miserable. So yeah, it's just, I mean, yeah, I would like to put a bit more size on, because I think when you're tall, it's a bit harder to fill out. But I've had people saying that I've filled out more, of like looking more muscular now, and I'll show you, like, you know, like, this is where we're at. Not flexing or anything, that's just how it looks naturally. You see the biceps there, we've got, you know, some shape to it. You know, it's, I mean, the thing is, if I put my arms next to like just an average guy, I'm not trying to do this to be arrogant or whatever, I'm just saying that they would actually be bigger, I reckon. Well, I mean, they'd be more muscular anyway. Not necessarily bigger because they might have a bunch of fat on their arms or something, but they'd have more muscle on them, probably than the average guy. So, if someone wants to call me mid, then, okay, well, let's see what the average guy looks like. Put him next to me, and, I mean, it's just, yeah, because if you're calling someone mid, then that means they're what the average man looks like. So they'll be at the same levels of body fat, the same muscle mass or whatever. That's what I would say is mid. Yeah, so like if you took like the average of, let's say, either the median or the mean or whatever, I mean there's some differences between them, but you know, you're gonna find like, you know, like the 50th percentile guy or whatever, like the one that's smack bang in the middle, like I said, gonna have over 20% body fat if you're in the UK, and probably not a lot of muscle. They're not going to see any like muscle, definition. Another thing I wanted to talk about is what women called a dad bod, because I've been seeing this thing a lot when they say, oh, like a dad bod. The thing is, right, from what I've researched, is that they don't like actual true dad bods, or at least, I mean, some will, but most of them, you know, it's not like friggin' Homer Simpson or Peter Griffin, right? Those are not what the kind of dad bods that they would be after. You know, they were talking someone like Daniel Craig or something like that, maybe. That's what, I mean, maybe not necessarily that big, but like, you know, they have like some muscle tone and but they're not like completely shredded like that. You know, some women like a more kind of balanced kind of physique where it's not too extreme, and that's what they're going to call a dad bod, which I think is a bit ridiculous because most dads are not really seriously into working out. So it's just a very, it just seems kind of delusional to me. So I don't know what you guys think, but I think there's a lot of delusional people out there, men and women, with these standards of what they call mid or a dad bod. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I keep saying the word ridiculous, but it truly is. Like, I could go on all day about how ridiculous the, you know, fitness standards have gotten. It's just, yeah, you can see why a lot of guys have now got bad mental health, and of course women it's affecting as well. You know, where you've got like women feeling the need to get things like BBLs and, you know, like plastic surgery to augment certain parts of their body, you know what I mean? Like, and the pressure keeps on growing for them to do extreme things. Like, I remember there was this thing where there was this trend of trying to get, you know, fat taken out of the face. I'm thinking, why would you even want to do that? It's just going to make you look older and just going to actually get rid of your natural beauty. But there's people that are, you know, falling for like dangerous trends or just toxic trends that I think are just ruining people, and we just need to stop it. And I don't know what we can do really, but I'm sick of seeing all these nonsense trends. You know, it's to a point where, you know, people doing things that could literally kill them or leave them with life-altering illnesses or whatever, you know? People are so reckless. So you could say it's partly their own fault, but people become so reckless with their health and fitness decisions that, and just like cosmetics and things like that, that they're not thinking about like, oh, what if this messes up and I end up dying prematurely, and then my family has to see me die way before my time. It's like they don't even give a fuck. Yeah, it's like they don't give a flying fuck that they might literally be gone before they can even, you know, see their family growing up or whatever. And it's like, have some fucking care, for fuck's sake. It's like they're so, it's like absolutely just like, so it's, people become so fucking selfish. They become so fucking vain that all they give a fuck about is how they're perceived by other people, and, you know, vanity things like winning fucking bodybuilding competitions. Like, why does any of that fucking matter? Why? Why would you want to risk dying soon just to win a fucking competition? It is so crazy to me. Like, I wouldn't even take part in a natural competition, because the levels, it's like the extremeness that you have to go to just even for a natural competition, let alone a friggin' roided up competition. You could say, well, you know, they end up making more money and then they can be, you know, that can be there to help their family, but like, their family would rather see them live longer. And if all their family cares about is money, then they don't truly love you, do they? So yeah, like, I'm pretty sure your family would want you to be as healthy as you can be. They wouldn't want you to be taking all these drugs just to, you know, like, try and please other people or whatever, or to get clout on social media. It's like, why do people, you know, value clout more than their own, you know, just like health and well-being? It's people need to just get the fuck off these things. If it's affecting them that much, then they need to go touch some grass. They need to go and find some hobbies that they can focus on, because the time that they focus on just going to the gym all the time, because oftentimes these roidheads are in the gym like, you know, many hours every day, and they're just wasting so much time. They could have actually built up other skills that could have actually made them a more well-rounded person. So there's an opportunity cost of doing that. So anyway, I've ranted enough, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, share this out as well if you can, and subscribe if you're new. All right, peace out everybody, bye for now.